Well, not gone. Setting that thing up took me ages. As you can see, they're working here. Probably can't hear what I'm saying. I'm at the top of San Jose. It's 5 to 10. So I'm going for an hour's walk, hour and a half, and it is now very chilly here. I've just walked around the corner into the wind. It was alright where there was no wind, but the wind is really cold. You wouldn't like this, Jamie. Why, come. Well, there we are. Let me get this thing sorted. Yep. Yeah, I walked from the bottom recreation area on Saturday. I've decided to walk Saturday and Wednesday. Saturday's traffic's easy, Wednesday's not bad, so it gives me a fair gap between walks to recover. My phone said weather forecast here was sunny all day. It looks as though it's just rained. So Raphael was saying how cold it was up here last night. So anyway, this is the normal way in. I'm going to walk towards the oh dear, brain's gone. First of all, towards the Chiñero path. Then I'll go up the track towards the end of the almond walk. Then up the rough bit towards the quiet valley. Then along the don't understand why that doesn't stay in the right place. Then along the top, well, along that road, not go up the valley, but walk along the track around the edge and back down. So it's halfway to Chiñero. An hour and a half, I suppose. So that's the intention this morning. Well, there we are, getting closer to the start of the Chiñero walk path. It's about 150-200 meters in front of us. It's coming up to the state where I shall be turning right up the track towards the end of the almond walk, and then backwards the reverse way up the almond walk towards the track that runs above that edge. It has a nice view over this top towards the La Gomera and the road, the winding road up from Santiago del Teide. So yeah, so now I'm beginning to climb up. You'll recognise this bit, and I shall climb up from here up to the top. It takes about half an hour as far as I can make out to get to the lava flow, where you can turn off onto the left to go past the gallery and up to the top road that way, but I'm not going that way. Well, I don't know what turned that off, but it turned off video. I did find out on Saturday that the little red button on the thing I carry my phone on, it switches the recording on and off. But I think there are other things that it can control as well. So it may be that one of the controls I touch now and then change the camera mode. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to switch off. I'm nearly up to the top, and then I'll get on a bit further. Well, there we are. I've got you working this time. So interesting piles of stone around. You wonder how they got there. And if you go around this way, I have walked this way. If I can get this thing to turn to where I want it. Why it won't turn, I don't know. There we are. That path there, I've been down that path, which takes you down the side. You climb over the wall actually to keep the path. If you go straight on, you finish off going up that mountain. But now I've lost it this way. I don't know why this thing turns. I'm not quite sure how to control the pan. Oh, hang on, let's see if this does it. Oh, that does it. I found out how to do it. Something new learned. And that. It's a little thumb adjustment that I've used for up and down, but it also pans left and right. It used to have a nice shiny silver button on top of it for control. It fell off the first day and I lost it, so I had to make my own bit of wood to stick in the hole so I can control it. Anyway, as you can see, I'm going up this section, which takes me to the top, then drops me down past the beehives to the edge of the lava field that goes up the side of the gallery. But I'm going to go around the longer route because I want to walk all the way across the top rather than just from the top of the path above the gallery to back towards the Chignero path. That's not all that wonderful a view. It's further around where the good views are. Talking of views, let me just get up this bit. Again, I don't know whether you can see this. I'm looking out towards La Gomera. It's not very good from there, but anyway, I'll turn you off for a while and switch you on when there's a better view. There you are. I've never seen that before. That's the track to the beehives. I have never ever seen that door, that gate open. There are some tracks in there, so maybe somebody's just coming to collect the honey. But yeah, the cloud is drifting about, low cloud drifting across the path. Over the Atlantic it looks fairly grim. The weather forecast was sunny all day, so I don't know. But then one never knows at San Jose, and one never knows about weather forecasts. Right, in front of us we have the end of the lava flow that comes down past the gallery. So now I'm going to go around this. Oh, sadly all the ferns here are dead as well. Well, nearly all of them. If you look over the top there, very little in the way of growing ferns. They'll be back next year, but on this side we have the I will learn to control this one day. I can't get I'm too close to the lava field to show you the rise of the lava field. That's it, the lava field going back there into a mountain. Okay, I'll turn it back to when I'm walking. Oh yeah, getting better, isn't it? I have the gimbal on a wrist strap, which means that I can stick it on my wrist and just hang on to the gimbal once it's turned off. And it's fairly safe on my hand. Even if I have to let it go, it's still round my wrist. Right, this is the point where up there is towards the gallery and the top, a short way. I'm going that way, which is a path that goes round there, as you can see. That's where I'm going, which goes to the end of the almond walk. Then I'll do the first bit of the almond walk up to the first track that runs. Let me see if I can show you that as well. At the top of that mountain there, you can't really see through the trees. As you can see, it's quite high. I mean, as I walk forward, you'll probably see get some idea of the height. But yeah, it's behind all this is the path I want to walk on. Okay, that's me. Switch you off for a while. There is a serious cloud now coming in off the Atlantic. Whether that's carrying rain or not, I don't know, or how cold it's going to get. But I'm obviously going to have to keep a check on that. There is an alternative, if it's going to get bad, to going up onto the top, and that's going back via the almond walk, which is a level 1. It's the same length of the walk that I've done to here, but I'm not up the mountain. So we'll see how that cloud progresses. As you can see, it is low, it is fairly thick. Well, the temperature will drop, of course, when the cloud hits. At present, I'm warming up quite nicely, but that will cool it down. So I've probably got 200 meters before I have to make the decision whether I'm going up or back. It is lighter on the horizon, so maybe it's going to be all right. I am carrying my full waterproof, so it doesn't really matter. I can put waterproofs on, warm up and keep dry, even if it does get bad. But I'll notice how red the pine needles are here. It's actually redder on this picture than it is to my eyes, actually. Right, and here we are approaching the end of the almond walk, which is down in the bottom there, near where that pipe is running, the water pipe. So, okay, I'll see when I've sorted myself out. I am at the end. As you can see, there's sunshine there, and if we look up, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, it's gone now. There was blue sky up there a minute ago, but out there we've got low cloud, and this way through the trees we've got sunshine and blue skies. I'll walk up the hill. As I say, I've got all the gear I need to keep myself dry and get back, and I can walk back if necessary from anywhere. There will come a point where it's easier to go on than come back, but at present I could just turn around and go back. Okay, well, you'll recognise the Chinero path, Las Partidas, in the opposite direction. This track joins the path I'm going to walk up. It runs kind of parallel to it in a wavy line. This way is the nice walk. Sun comes through in various bits by the looks of it. I have walked up there once and climbed up the front edge of that in front of us. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't. Just a minute, let me get you. That one, you can't see through the trees. Well, it's up that one. That was a hairy climb, not to be done on the spur of the moment, like it was when I did it. Anyway, that's let's get you back again. There we are on the path. Yeah, well, although it's cloudy, the sun's breaking through on the hillside up there. I can see sunshine there, so perhaps I shouldn't worry too much about the weather. And I'll turn this round and get, there we are. I'm back walking up the path. This is the easy bit of it. I've been walking 35 or 40 minutes now, so I ought to be halfway through the walk if I estimate it an hour and a half. The reason for the short walk is so I can ring Kelly later before she goes to dialysis. Anyway, I'm going to turn you up a while I climb up this. Well, my cardiovascular system is working fairly hard at present. But look at the rocks there. As you come around this way, oops. And down into the bottom. See if you can get it to there. Yeah, quite amazing. Let me get you back to where you should be. I haven't got quite used to the fact that the operation of the screen is offering it to where I push the button. That I will get used to at some time. Well, yeah, so I'm going down into the bottom now. This is where we cross over onto the edge of the lava field, not the lava flow, and start climbing up the rough stuff. So in a while, in fact, I shall switch you off now and give myself a rest. Well, here I am, top of the climb. The cardiovascular part of the walk is over. This walk, really, I've been walking an hour, no, sorry, 40, going on 50 minutes. 50 minutes here to get to Jen, where Jen's ashes are. Yeah, I would have to do it in another 20-25 minutes from here. The round trip to where Jen's ashes are is going on 3 hours. I have done it in less, but it's a fairly long walk. It's 10 kilometres in all, and as I say, it's twice the climb I've already done. I'm just finding out whether by next week I can do that climb. In reality, this is the track I want to walk round. It says you can't walk on it. The little, as you see, the cross there saying don't come this way. We'll ignore that. Yeah. So with a bit of luck, I shall be all right by next week. This morning has been hard. Slightly hazy all the way. I don't know why. I can't think of any reason. But you know, just one of them mornings. Anyway, with all this cloud about, the reason I came up here does no longer exist, because you can't see anything in the distance. So the whole idea of having pictures over towards La Gomera and up the road from Santiago del Teide to San Jose, or to Puerto Erjos at the top, isn't going to work today. So I'll walk around this. Then I do have two options now. If it's not going to work, I have the option of dropping straight down the steep bit, past the gallery and back that way, which is a shorter route, or walking all the way towards Montaña Negra and then down the Chinero path. Oops, cyclists. Ready? As you can see out there, nothing. It is awful. So all the good views are at this end as well. You can just see a bit. Let me show you a little bit of it. You can't really see. This is why I wanted the Hawaii phones with the ×10 zoom on and a very good camera, because that would have given me more chance in this kind of weather. But with just the normal lens, there's not much chance. If you want to look at the steep bit I once came up, I came up these edges. Let me show you. I came up that edge. It was horrendous. It was crawling on hands and knees at the top, I might add. There was no other way. You couldn't stand up on the slope, it was so high. In fact, that bit down now, in the bottom there, the signpost that I showed you, if you go straight down that and further on, it comes to that signpost. So that's the kind of climb it is. Anyway, not going to see you much here, so I'm going to switch you off for a while. Well, there's the landslip that there is here. It's come all the way down there, into the bottom, right. You can't see the bottom from here, but it's not somewhere where you want to go over the edge there. That's fairly difficult. As you can see, you can see a bit now in the distance. You do get a really good view when there's no mist about, but we can't have everything. Yes, it just shows how unstable these places can be. I mean, I walk this on But in reality, one never knows how stable things like this track is going to be, because at that side there's nearly a vertical drop. In fact, if I turn you around to look now, I don't know whether you can see how steep it is. You don't get much idea from photos. Obviously somebody went on here to take photos. But anyway, not to worry. You can see that this is a 3 metre wide piece of land that they've just carved a path out of on the slip of the mountains, of this mountain, and there another one of these. Yeah, it's a long way down there. Anyway, let's have your only worries people. This piece in front of us shows you how high that goes. That's also a slip, and this slip is all this corner. What you've got is water has carved out a barranco, kind of, down the middle there, as you can see down that centre, over the top, and then the whole thing has slipped down into it. Yeah, you can see the marks of where they had the diggers when they dug the rock out to put this track in to, I presume, to stabilise it. I don't know. I don't know what else they'd be doing with it. But yeah, again, a fairly massive drop into the bottom. And this is a bridge that I've just walked across, across the waterway. Sorry about that, I'm trying to get this sorted. Well, we should be coming to the top of the walk down to the gallery, and I shall probably drop down there. If I do that, I might finish the walk not long after 11:30. Then I should get back to the Torres for 12:30 to be able to ring Kelly before she goes off to dialysis. So we'll see. It's quite an interesting walk, this. I mean, once you get up here, it's level, of course. There's no hard work here. It's a slight uphill, but nothing much, and the cloud is coming in and it's getting wet. It's damp cloud. So yeah, I think we get off the top as soon as we can and into the bottom. Turn you off for a while. I'm 200 metres further on, and this is the track we normally go down, or the path down to the bottom, to the gallery at the bottom. If you go up that way, you come to the top of the, eventually, the top of the quiet valley where the big stones are, and that it's a different way to get up to where Jen's at, you know. Anyway, we're going down the hill, and I'm going to switch you off because it's going to be slippery. Okay, we're down now, but look, these tiny mushrooms, there's thousands, probably millions of them, they're everywhere. They're beginning to die now, but the whole of this hillside is covered in them. Yeah, you walk down, you know, I'm squashing them as I walk down the hill. And this is on the path of it, and look there. Quite fascinating. Anyway, I'm down the steep part. I'm on the less steep part. It's not flat. Going down towards the gallery, which is further down. There's one or two bits in the way. There's a steep little drop in the middle of this. Then the last bit is the steep bit down from this path to the level where the old building, the old water control building is now a wreck. But there we are, back on a path. It is spotting with rain now, so it might be worth getting off the mountain just in case it is going to turn wet. So much for the sun all day weather forecast. It didn't do much good. This is another one of those places. I can't hear anything. But then, it's why I come up the mountain, to get away from the crowds, the noise, the traffic. Right, I'm coming up to a steep bit now. I need to make sure I've got both hands. I'm switching you off. Well, I'm down at the bottom of the steep bit, but it's been, the gallery is there. This bit is not bad. Above it is really badly eroded. It looks like what the foresters have done is made a runoff onto the top of this and are directing water down here. This is what all this is down here. So all this bit I've just come down is severely eroded, and it's black ash and not easy to get down because it's all loose. So that's another one to think about. They are further, well, you can see it. Excuse me, just there you can see a track above this stone there. People have started making a track down at the side because it's just a bit dangerous coming down the main track, the main path. So, yeah, anyway, that's down that. I've got this awful bit for a while, then I'm back onto the path and track back to the top San Jose car park. So I'll leave you on just a second or two while I get down this path, rather than stop and start again, because I'm nearly through it now. Oh, my nose is running like a tap off here today. And there we are, we're out of most of it now, so okay, I'm going to switch you off for a while. You can see that a lot of water has run down here, so they must have had a fair amount of water coming down, but this is where the foresters have obviously decided that the water should run, and this is going to turn itself into well, it'll be a small water course later. It'll not be running all the time, but it will dig it out. So it won't be as easy to walk up and down here as it has been. Got fairly rough on this section now, because of course if they run water down here it does what it's done there. It exposes all the rock and things and they all tumble down. It's like a tumble dryer. So yeah, something to think about next time you come this way. You don't want to be walking in that. It's not what you come up the mountain for. Right, we're nearly the end of this now. I don't know where it goes after the end. It must drop into the bottom. There is a waterway at the bottom that the forest has made for that mountain in front. It runs off there. The runoff from that goes into the bottom. This will join that. Okay, I'm going to go across this bit, I think, rather than walk around the edge and join the path. There's a bit of sunshine further on. So yeah, this just goes to the path and tracks I came in on. A lot of this has been run off as well, so it's washed a lot off down here. There must have been a lot of water down at some time. Right, let's find an easy spot to get down. Not that easy. There we are. If I keep walking straight on, it just levels out. You can't see now. It's right, there we are. And it just levels out here so I can walk off the edge. There we are. It's not a problem. So we're now back on the track, walking back to the minibus. And it's 11:15 already. So this is something like 20 minutes from here. And it's raining now, so I'm going to switch you off and walk a bit faster. Yeah, that's the start of next year's giant daffodils. They've started growing already. They might get knocked back if this weather continues cold, but it shows it's going on. Right. Both my knees gave a couple of ouches going down the rough stuff, you know, this kind of loose, marbly stuff where your ankles and knees are working hard to stay on your feet. Right, we're now off it, thank goodness. And now it's just impact, damage, different kind of pain in the knee, but they're not bad. Hips are alright, and the knee, extending the knee is my left knee. I don't know, interesting, all them rocks. Something you don't notice normally. There are lots of rocks there. We'll roll down that hill. Yeah. So it's 11:20. I'm not going to get back to the van in 10 minutes, but I still may get back home for 12:30 so I can talk to Kelly. And then I shall probably fall asleep this afternoon. My dinner is in the fridge, so all I have to do is put it in the microwave and eat it. It's my second part of last night's salmon and veg mix, which again was twice as much as I needed when I'd cooked it, so half went for lunch today, and then I'll probably go out for a lasagna, something simple tonight, and that'll about do the day. I fall asleep this afternoon, and I'll certainly fall asleep having had a glass of wine and rum miel in something later on. Okay, I'm going to switch you off and just continue walking. I could see white patches floating about down here and wondering what it was, and then I realised it's the locals collecting animal fodder, animal bedding. I don't know, but we'll see as we go past. I did see this earlier on, this pickup. Oh, yeah, normally it's 2 or 3 people out, and they are. Hola, buenos días. Un poco fresco.
A buscarle para debajo de la gallina.
Buenos días. Well, there you are. That's the locals getting local produce. It would only go to waste or become a fire hazard. Yes. So they are doing something useful for the system. Right, we're down to the... There we are, that's the bottom of the Chiñero path, the signpost there. And of course I'm going down this way back to the minibus. I remember lots of times being in this state where it's, you know, it's nearly past now, so I'm going to be 10-15 minutes late, and I remember panicking about Jen worrying about me as I walked down here. We did have a 2-way wireless system that got 10-kilometre range, but totally useless in woods because your signal can't get through the trees. But well, that's they sat in the cupboard now. I don't need them anymore. But it's the same thing, seeing how fast I can get back from here. It's probably 15 minutes from here. I know, I don't think I'm going to get back in 10 minutes from here. It's going to be 15 minutes, but we'll see. It's 28 minutes past. We'll see when we get there. I'm going to switch you off now and walk. Well, here I am, coming to the end of the walk. It's now, it's taken me 9 minutes from 8 or 9 minutes from when I looked at my watch, saying it was going to take me 10 minutes, probably quarter of an hour. So 10 minutes is probably fine. It's not so good. Jen's not normally waiting for me nowadays. So, but it's just useful to know. And it will be possible for me to get down the The rain, it's not the kind of rain, it's the edge of the cloud. There are droplets in the cloud. So, yeah. Fortunately, the rain has held off all the walk, and that's been fine. An hour and 40 minutes I've been walking. So, a fair walk, a fair climb actually. The climb is fairly hard. But that's it, I'm finished. I'm back to the minibus. I'll drive back home and give Kelly a ring.